With his first murder mysteries involving Detective Benoit Blanc, Rian Johnson crafted some funny and involving stories that played around with the narrative in a clever manner. Having Daniel Craig play Blanc with that right comedic tone and a humorous southern drawl added to the enjoyment of the movies, along with their social commentary. The third film, Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, takes on a slightly more serious tone as Johnson goes for something more gothic and uses the setting of a church to comment on religious extremism. As usual, he utilizes flashbacks in a way that adds to the interest of how this murder will be solved. Rian Johnson has made each film in the series stand out on its own, and an interesting decision in this one is focusing on a priest. Josh O'Connor plays this reverend not as the typical priest, but nonetheless still trying to be someone the congregation wants to listen to. Making the first act entirely focused on him before Blanc even says a line was an interesting idea, and Johnson makes his journey to the church and trying to fit in compelling. His scenes opposite Josh Brolin as a more aggressive priest work in establishing their difficult relationship and how their views differ. Both O'Connor and Brolin give strong performances that portray their opposite personalities and show why they hold their specific views. When Benoit Blanc does come into the main story, Craig brings a more serious side to the character than we've seen before. This is someone who's long had disagreements with church doctrine, and that's well portrayed in his performance, although Craig still gets his share of funny moments. The rest of the ensemble also work well. It admittedly does not take long to figure out who the culprit is, but part of the fun of these movies is seeing how Blanc unravels the case and pieces everything together. Even when we can figure out the possible outcome, it's the road getting there that piques the curiosity. Much like he did in the prior films, Johnson knows how to use flashbacks and come back to previous moments with a new perspective. As is evident, the main theme of Wake Up Dead Man is on religion and how some people use it to further a certain agenda. Johnson clearly has contempt for those who just see it as an avenue to spew hateful remarks, which he not so subtly shows through the Brolin character in particular. The way he uses this series to look at the current state of the world has often been a high point, and a common thread in the movies has been how it depicts those who live in their own bubble and are uncaring about anyone who might not reside in the same world as them. Wake Up Dead Man retains a number of elements that have been established with Rian Johnson's approach to murder mysteries. However, it also tries new things, particularly with the tone. While the comedy remains, this becomes a more serious entry, especially in how it touches on the topic of death. The way it fleshes out Reverend Judd adds another interesting aspect to this mystery as he and Blanc look at this crime through their own angles. Johnson and Craig have said they will always be up for more, and having tackled subjects like family inheritance, tech bro hubris, and now religious zealotry, it'll be interesting to see where they go from here.